Hey guys, Josh here from the Hampshire Business Show, which takes place on the Thursday, the 14th of October at the Ageas Bowl Stadium in Southampton. I'm really excited today to be joined by the lovely Michelle here, who's the Managing Director of Klarity Finance. Klarity Finance are an on-demand finance director consultancy with clients all across the UK. And Michelle's also going to be speaking at the Hampshire Business Show this October. She's been kind enough to give up some of her time, tell us all about what she does, who she helps, all the problems she's solving people in their businesses. So, Michelle, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Josh.
Lovely to see you. So, Michelle, I think a natural place to start and a good place to start would be to, to anyone who's, I suppose, not heard of Klarity Finance and, don't really know what an on-demand, I suppose, finance director even is. Can you kind of explain all that to us and kind of what it all means?
Yeah, so we're basically like a part-time finance director. So we're giving sort of flexible on-demand finance director to businesses who can't, who have a limited budget and can't afford to give to have a full-time finance director on board. So it's a very flexible model that works particularly well for SMEs at the moment. So it's completely flexible, flexes with the business, no tie-in, on a retainer, no restrictions for the SME. They completely know where they stand, and just the model seems to really work for SMEs, particularly in COVID climate at the moment.
No, for sure. And it's interesting because I think me and you have touched on it briefly before, but like, when's the right time to be thinking about like an FD? Is there a right time?
Yeah, that is a tricky question actually, and I mean, I'm assuming that like when a turnover gets to around £1 million, that's when you need to start thinking a bit more strategically about the kind of financial information that you've got and what you should be doing going forwards. You might not need a lot of input at £1 million turnover, but I think you need to be starting to have those strategic inputs at that time. And then as the business grows, you'll need more and more financial strategic input from there afterwards. But that's the question, Josh. Yeah.
And I suppose that ties into what you said about, where it's kind of flexible. It's like, let's say you hit that £1 million turnover, you might not need to hire an FD straight away, but there may be something that's more on demand as and when we need it. Kind of makes sense, I suppose, right?
Yeah, so it might be just, half a day a month, or it might be 1 day a month, or, eventually it becomes 1 day a week or 2 days a week. But, you can build up to that as and when the business requires that kind of need.
That makes sense.
Be straight away. Pre-packaged.
So what kind of, what type of companies do you work with at Klarity? Is there like a specific sector? Have you got kind of clients across a broad range?
It's quite a broad range of sectors, in all honesty. It can be any sector. I mean, it's just, we target sort of businesses that are sort of £1 to £6 million turnover, but generally they are sort of any industry. They're just companies that have got to a certain size that just need that financial strategic input and can't quite afford to have a full-time FD, but just need that financial information for management reporting, board reporting, and that visibility going forwards for their financial planning.
That makes sense. And I suppose, digging a little bit deeper into that, because what are the actual problems do you think that businesses start to experience as they kind of, I suppose, get to that level where they're thinking about, just like an FD function within the business?
Well, some clients say that they lack financial visibility, and this quite often leads to paralysis because they lack the confidence in the numbers to make big investment decisions. So we have produce forecasts and budgets, and this helps them to monitor their performance and improve their management and board reporting. But some also have a lack of understanding of where their profitability margins are. So we help them to uncover this and enable them to focus on their key areas of profitability and then make efficiencies where they're less profitable. And some have limited cash flow as well, and this causes the business owners to be awake at night worrying about how they're going to meet some big payment for salaries or VAT, and we help them with preparing sort of 12-week rolling cash flow forecasts and can really help the business as well, sort of prepare for sort of those pinch points ahead of time. So we also review clients' costs and helping them to make savings as well, because who doesn't like a cost saving? Because generally they go straight to the bottom line and improve your net profit position overall. So who doesn't want that at the end of the day? And ultimately some clients as well, simply they just outgrow their processes and procedures, particularly in finance. And in those particular situations, we undertake a full finance transformation, looking at reviewing people, process and technology, to put the finance team in the best, strongest, most future-proof position going forwards as possible. So those are really interesting projects that we undertake as well. So it's quite range of services that we offer, but once you get into a business and you understand what's going on, you can really add value.
Yeah, for sure. And I completely see the value and what you said there about the confidence thing, right? Because especially when you got salaries, all the outgoings, all your overheads and all the rest of it, is, I suppose, without that crystal clear water on how you're actually performing at the numbers, with the numbers, it's like you kind of lack the backbone to make financial decisions sometimes, right? And even if it's like kind of that next growth phase, or we need to invest in this infrastructure to get to that next part, it's like, can we actually afford this? We don't know, because the bank account no longer makes sense, because there's so much going in and out, you don't even know what's in there.
Or even to invest in an exhibition coming up,
Yeah, that's it. I know a good one.
In, or that cash flow planning, some businesses might be sat there thinking, I don't know if I can afford to invest that, or how much I can spend in that, or or even to plan for something like an exit or an investment, an acquisition, whatever they want for their business. You need to have that planning in place, but you need to have that financial visibility. But to have that financial visibility, you need to know where you are now in order to plan ahead.
Makes
so you need
sense.
a really good understanding.
And so, forgive me if it's obvious, but what's like, because every business has an accountant, right? And so if I've got an accountant, where does that kind of like, do you talk to the accountant? Like, how does it all work kind of like together, if that makes sense?
Yeah, well, that's a brilliant question, because many businesses think, well, I've got an accountant, so why do I need another one? And and I can understand why they're saying that, but they're two completely different things. So when you appoint an accountant, a practicing accountant, they've generally got a very specific task, and that specific task is to produce your year-end accounts, to file your corporation tax returns and your tax assessments and your VAT returns, and they're all sort of based on historic performance of last year's figures, and it's all about filing for HMRC and your requirements for HMRC, but they're not really about working in your business to improve your profitability, to improve your cash flow, to improve your reporting, to help you manage your business day to day, to help your managers to improve the performance of your business now, today, next month, and the coming quarter, half year. And that's the difference. So, Klarity Finance are there to help you improve your performance today and going forwards and in the future. We're not just literally there to help you file historic data. That's not what we're there for. We're there to look at the historic data and help you, project that data going forward so that you can be in a better position tomorrow. And that's the massive difference, really. And that's the misconception that we're up against, that you do need a second accountant, because we have a very different task.
Yeah, that makes sense. I love that. It's so right, and it all makes crystal clear sense. So, if someone wants to have a conversation with you, Michelle, before the show, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
On my website, on LinkedIn, the email address. A lot of people contact us via LinkedIn, so I'm easy to find on LinkedIn, to be honest. Just put in my name and you get me.
Nice. So what we'll do as well is we'll link Michelle's website wherever you're watching this video. There'll be a link there as well if you want to get in touch with her. But guys, also as well, I highly recommend attending Michelle's talk, but she's going to be giving away some awesome advice. A lot of free consultancy going on, which isn't good in our world, but a really useful talk, and I highly recommend attending. So So, guys, look, if you've not got your free ticket yet, the world's opening back up now. We're really excited. We're 4 or 5 months away or something. So get your free ticket, hampshirebusinessshow.com/free-ticket, and we'll see you in October. Michelle, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Josh. Looking forward to it.
Can't wait. Take care.
Cheers. Bye.